Once upon a time, in a world where dreams and reality danced together in the shimmering moonlight, there lived a woman named Isabella. She was a woman of enchanting beauty and grace, with flowing ebony hair that cascaded like a waterfall down her back, and eyes as deep and mysterious as the midnight sky. Isabella was known far and wide for her kindness, her wisdom, and her ability to weave tales that could transport anyone who listened to a world of magic and wonder. Isabella lived in a small cottage, nestled in a lush, ancient forest. The forest was a place of quiet beauty where the trees whispered secrets to the wind, and the animals roamed freely without fear. Isabella had lived there for as long as she could remember, and the forest had become her dearest friend and confidant. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the indigo sky, Isabella felt a restlessness stirring within her. She couldn't quite put her finger on it, but something in the air seemed different, as if the world itself were holding its breath in anticipation of some great event. Isabella decided to take a walk through the forest, hoping that the whispering trees might reveal their secrets to her. She stepped out of her cozy cottage into the cool embrace of the night. The moon bathed the forest in a silvery glow, casting long, mysterious shadows on the forest floor. As Isabella walked deeper into the woods, she began to hear a faint, haunting melody carried on the breeze. It was a song she had never heard before, and yet it felt oddly familiar, as if it were a forgotten memory from a distant dream. The music grew louder and more enchanting with each step she took, beckoning her forward like a siren's call. Following the melody, Isabella soon found herself standing before a majestic oak tree, its gnarled branches reaching up to touch the heavens, and there, beneath the ancient oak, sat a creature unlike any she had ever seen before. It was a fawn, with the lower body of a goat and the upper body of a man, and it played a hauntingly beautiful tune on a wooden flute. The fawn looked up as Isabella approached, and his eyes, like pools of liquid amber, met hers. "Greetings, fair maiden," he said, his voice a melodic blend of music and poetry. "I am Pan, the guardian of this forest, and you are Isabella, the weaver of dreams." Isabella was taken back by Pan's words. How did he know her name? And what did he mean by the weaver of dreams? Pan smiled, as if reading her thoughts. "I have watched you from the shadows, Isabella, and I have seen the magic that flows within you. You have the power to bring dreams to life, to make the impossible possible. But there's a darkness that threatens to consume this world, and I fear that even your gift may not be enough to stop it." Isabella's heart raced as she listened to Pan's words. She had always known that there was something special about her, something that set her apart from the ordinary, but she had never fully understood the extent of her power. "What can I do?" she asked, her voice trembling. Pan handed her a wooden flute, and as she took it in her hands, she could feel the ancient magic coursing through it. "Play," he said, his eyes filled with a mixture of hope and sadness. "Play the song of the forest, and let your heart guide you." The music that flowed from her was unlike anything she had ever heard before. It was a song of life and love, of hope and despair, of the beauty and the fragility of the world. As the music filled the air, the forest itself seemed to come alive, with trees swaying to the rhythm and animals gathering around to listen. But as Isabella played, she also felt a darkness stirring within her, a shadowy force that threatened to overwhelm her. She closed her eyes and focused on the beauty of the music, on the love she felt for the world around her, and slowly the darkness began to recede, like a storm retreating before the dawn. Hours passed, or perhaps it was only minutes, but it felt like an eternity as Isabella played her song. And then, as the final note hung in the air, she opened her eyes to find herself standing in a clearing, bathed in the soft light of the moon. Pan smiled at her, his eyes filled with gratitude. "You have done well, Isabella. You have awakened the magic within you and brought light to this world, but remember, the darkness is never truly defeated. It merely lies in wait, biding its time. You must always stay vigilant." Isabella nodded, her heart filled with a sense of purpose. She knew that her journey had only just begun, and that there were many challenges and adventures awaiting her. But she was not alone. She had the forest, she had Pan, and she had her own inner strength to guide her. And so, Isabella continued her life in the enchanted forest, weaving dreams and stories that brought joy and wonder to all who heard them. She knew that her gift was a precious one, and she would use it to protect the world she loved. As the years passed, Isabella's fame spread far and wide, and people from all corners of the world came to seek her wisdom and listen to her tales. But she never forgot the night she met Pan and discovered the true extent of her power. And every night, as she lay down to sleep in her cozy cottage, she would play her wooden flute, filling her dreams with the music of the forest and the hope of a better world. And so, dear reader, as you lay down to sleep tonight, remember the story of Isabella, the weaver of dreams, and let her story fill your dreams with magic and wonder. For in the world of dreams, anything is possible, and the power of imagination can light even the darkest of paths. Sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with enchantment.